So this project we will talk about how to compute the miles per gallon. This is a lab we will be doing, and we'll be computing the miles per gallon. So what we are going to do is we are going to develop an application. On one side we have the list box, all right? The list box we have, call it as list miles entered. Okay, it's a list, and we have a text box where the user enters all the miles here, and there is a button called submit. So this is a text box where the user enters the values and it submits. Okay, submits. Let's say the user enters 300 and enter submit, so this will get added to the list box. Then let's say the user enters another number, say 200, and enters the 200, gets added to the list box. So the capacity of the tank, we're trying to find the miles per gallon, right? Let's keep it constant, because that's not changing, right? Capacity is 15 gallons. Let's keep it 15 gallons, right? So now how many gallons he has used? 30 gallons, isn't it? 15 gallons here, 15 gallons here. Let's say the user enters another one, right? Say 400. He enters, so 400. So how many gallons he has used? 45, isn't it? So three items times 15 is equal to 45 gallons is used. Yes or no? Right? 15 plus 15. And how many miles he has totally traveled so far? 300 plus 200 plus 400. How much is that? 900 miles. So what is the miles per gallon we have now? Sum over total. This is the total gallons is used, total gallons, right, by total will fetch your miles per gallon. That where do you display that? When he clicks, after everything is done, when he clicks say done, you display this miles per gallon in a label. So we have a list box. I'm going to put how many items we have in the application. A list box, a text box, a button, another button, and a label where we're going to display this miles per gallon in here, right? So 5 items we have. All right, so that is the application, right? Your application is, this is simple, right? And we would just keep this constant as internal. We'll not show that to the user, so I'll just erase for now. We don't need it, right? We don't need any of that. So that is the I'll just use that guy. Very simple, isn't it? So that is the basic introduction, and we'll start the Visual Studio for now, and I'll get the skeleton version of the project. All right, Windows application, Windows Forms application. See that, not a console, Windows. We need to figure it out. If you, or you can find out from here. Say Windows Forms app. Should have Visual Basic right there. And let's change the location of that. I don't want this here. I want to be somewhere here. Now it's next step. We can see sample code, and that's the thing. So we are creating miles per gallon project, isn't it? This is easy in Visual Basic. It's very easy to set up. So I'm going to set up the skeleton version, then we'll create another video where we'll do the actual programming. All right, so it makes easy. So let's go ahead and create a button. Let's create a button, very simple. Call that, go to property, text, that should be submit, isn't it? And we'll create another button. We call that as what should we call? This is the calculate MPG, right? Calculate MPG is not shown up, so let's make it a little bigger. And we need a label next to it, so we're going to display the final display, right? Let's keep it for now 0 because you don't have anything. We need to have a text box at the top, right? Isn't a text box that like we talked. The user is going to enter the text box. The text box name could be name. Text box name is what? Just text miles entered, isn't it? Submit submit, right? Submit. It's a button, so we need to call this a btn submit, right? So we have all of that. We need a list box. List box. Where's the list box? Right there. So we'll enter here. We call the list box as list miles entered. All right. So we're going to call list miles entered. This is text miles entered, and this is the button submit. This is we're calling as again button MPG. Let's call it MPG, button MPG. Yes. And we have a label. We're going to label that label as LBL miles per gallon, right? So we have all three things, isn't it? So that we have everything, right? So when you double click on this one, you need to add code here, add code to what? To get the value from the text box. Oh, this is not. And add the item to the list box. This is where you need to add the code, and here we need to get all values from the list box, sum them up, calculate miles per gallon. So we need to do all this. We'll fill in all these things in our next video, okay? But maybe you can just add this thing, one thing, adding a value to this, very simple. The way you need to do is list miles entered dot items dot add. So we need to add, like we said, isn't it? If you go back to the things here, how do we add to the list box? See here, see that, add question number 2, how do I add a value to the list box? Add whatever you entered in the text box dot text. So we can just do just for that. So we need to get the value from the text box. Where is the text box? Text miles entered. That's our text box dot text, isn't it? So this is our text box. So if you do it, it keep adding to the, as soon as you click the button, submit button, it will add whatever the user entered into the list box. Okay. So this is a little bit of object oriented programming, but it's okay. We can get this. So let's just get this done, but this one requires a little bit work. We will try to do in another video. Okay. So let's go get going here. All right, I'm going to enter 100. Ta-da, it went. I'm going to enter 200. It adds up here. I'm going to enter 300. So that is part of the job is done. So we defined what the project is. We defined a skeleton version of the Visual Studio. We replicated whatever we talked in the Paint program, right? Now all we got to do is calculate, add all this up, and the total gallons. We need to calculate this and display on the label. That's all we had to do. So we just have one small function to be written here, one small code. That's it. Thank you.